Hello survivors, I'm the SurvivalVis, and welcome to a little trip to the past for a one-off of the Hunter Primal. Now, I've done a number of videos on the Hunter Call of the Wild on the channel, and let's see, I'm trying to think of when this one actually came out, because this was almost a weird April Fool's spin-off of sorts, where the Hunter team decided to make a survival hunting, dinosaur hunting mix thing. It didn't exactly do the greatest, but it was a little unique for its time. I think it was kind of a weird mixing of two genres that didn't mesh as well as it should have. I think they tried to take it too far away from what they've done with the Hunter, and too much action and arcade stuff in it. But I figure we'll do a little trip into games gone by, and play around a little bit on it. So we'll just start game. I don't think there's anything to really worry about there. Yeah, this is way back where you actually had to open the ports up and interesting stuff with it. I do have to admit, it was a very interesting take, and I think they would have succeeded more with the game if they just treated Hunter Primal more like just a regular hunting game, instead of trying to do the survival-y aspects of it. But it did have very tense moments in it as you played, and captured the atmosphere of what it might be like being a person on a dinosaur-infested world. Oh, yeah, so when you kind of start off, they changed the game quite a bit way down the line, so you actually had certain things you kind of get dropped with. I won't go into the story premise of things, really. We'll just get what we can, which was basically just a machete and a map fragment. Yeah, so it was... I can't really see it on this map, but the premise was you're basically a former prisoner dropped onto an alien world trying to colonize it for a military organization or something. And to do that, you had to take down all of the dinosaurs that live on there. And it was actually, and still holds up, be a fairly alright looking game, but the problem was, the Hunter is not an action-oriented game, or an action-oriented control scheme. And that's where the game, I think, suffered greatly, along with a few other things such as hit detection and some other stuff. It will still give you some interesting little features and things to it, but I do have to admit they probably would have been better off just making a hunting game where you were hunting dinosaurs instead. But I figure we'll hop in for this a little bit, have some fun, and show off what the game was like, and maybe see if we can't bag a few dinosaurs before they bag us. So, we've got some arrows, some healing stuff. And let me try to see where I am exactly. I can't really see anything on the map. That's one of the things, too, is that unlike the other games, the Hunter, where you have a really wide range and you see the whole map overlay to kind of guess where you go, you have a lot of just trying to figure out for yourself. Honestly, maybe it'd be better to go up north to that one landmark we have found. As you can see, it is a lot like the standard Hunter. You have your little hunter mate, or in this case the settler mate, the weapons you'll use, how the dinosaurs have their vitals and that. It's all along the same lines, but the problem was, I think, just you feel so weird and out of place given how the Hunter controls compared to what the game tries to be. Like, because you have to scrounge up for weapons and ammo and stuff like that, and then they had the currency, it went through some weird developmental stuff. It still probably has a little bit of an arcade sort of feel to it if you do want to hop in and pick it up. I probably wouldn't recommend it just because you could probably spend and find something else to enjoy a little more. This was just a little one-off because I finished up with the Dino System series, and I just wanted to have a little bit something interesting put up on the channel for maybe a weekend upload. I do have a number of series I am very eager to start off with, because this will go up, I think, right after the Dino Systems series basically came to its season finale. We're not going to go after T-Rex in this, I don't believe. That takes hours of preparation to try to do. And even then, it's... well, they kind of bloated the health system of some of the dinosaurs, too. I think that was another issue that came across on it. But anyway, we'll just go along as we can and see what we're able to find or get success with. I'm just going to turn the volume up a little bit because, as with the other Hunter games, you'll definitely want to listen out for any audio cues you get. Speaking of, I think that's actually one I'm hearing now. I can't remember if one of the ways to find kind of the loot... Let me adjust the settings, because this is getting kind of weird here. No, just... I thought one of the ways you could kind of find your loot boxes or things was... there's that little chiming where I think that's a way you could kind of hone in on where loot things are, but you also don't seem to get much time to actually outfit yourself to be ready for what lurks on the islands, or the world, or... Ah, shit, that's Utah Raptor. What we do not want to encounter. Because until you get a weapon, you're basically screwed if you get seen by them. And that was another issue with the game, was you didn't really get good ways of staying alive to actually progress unless you were very lucky. Because you couldn't really harvest resources. And you either had to find out where those little chimes were, or you just spawn next to a good little loot spot. Because you couldn't gather resources, you couldn't even get a bow and... you used to start with a bow and arrow, so you had a little something. It was pathetic, to be honest, but it was something better than a machete. I think the problem with the Hunter Primal was that they... keep hearing that stupid chiming, but I can't seem to narrow down where it's from. Maybe it's just up here. And that's really weird. As soon as you crouch down, it stops too. We're just going to crawl out of here. Just because there might not even be what I think there is around here from hearing that little chirping going off. But this gameplay right now was basically the majority of what you spent your time doing in the game, so it's pretty easy to understand why this had the issues it did. We're just going to get down towards this coast and then stand up and just start walking out of here. Yeah, you know what? Actually, how the hell do I even sprint? Because I'm not... Okay, I gotta look up and actually, I'm not even going to be able to look up and see. But how the hell do I sprint? Because it's not anything... Yeah, I forget what the hell the weird control scheme was, too. It seems like the game's even more broken than when I last remember, because at least before they would... Wait, where did it go? We actually... What is going on now? Holy hell, yeah, I think the game is even more broken now than when I last remember it. Because you can take down... Oh, okay, there we go, we actually got attacked. Inventory, get that in. Okay, yeah, the game has gone to some weird spots since last time I played. Let me find keyboard. Run is C. Okay, it's a little press and toggle almost. I admit it's better, but now it just feels weird with... I gotta say, this game's aged weird now. Not what I thought it would have gone into or developed as. Well, this thing might basically be dead, too. I don't know if it's just because of how program or coding went or what, but... Yep, and mushrooms were something else, but I can't remember... Those... I think they help. A piece of raptor crap. I always thought the Utahs were a lot more dangerous than this. Maybe they are, and it's just because of the game being a little weird. And again, there's that chiming that there's a crate somewhere, but I can't seem to... Doesn't even seem like the audio is working as well either, because there's... With the headphones I got on, they've been very good at being able to pick up where... like the proper direction of things on. You'll hear it more from left side or the right side, but here it's... I almost want to say it's right here, to be honest. Like, well, my stumbling around. We at least got one Utah raptor out of this. We might have a second if we can kind of figure out the trail of this one. Really like to figure out where that chiming is coming from. It's so annoying. Because this reminds me back in the day of before I had headphones, and it was just through speakers. And that was a pain trying to figure out what... playing any hunting game with them. Yeah, it honestly sounds like it should be right on top of something, but... Let me try to find the blood trail again. That was a female, but that was just a trot or something. So you gotta be careful not to go flying off the edge. No, that's not blood. That's not either. Nope. That isn't either. Come on. There should be some blood around here somewhere. Ah, pile of crap. Ah, footprints. There we go. Okay, well, here's some more blood. And we can follow this along to it. Okay, but yeah, this is much more in line with how the Hunter Classic was, well before they were working on Call of the Wild. So it wasn't quite the same tracking experience. It was very close, but also a little more frustrating because of how, well, just close you needed to be to each little tracker to get the clue. And it seemed like these also had a really high chance of sending you in weird directions, as if the animals would do a 180 and either come right back or go way off outside of the little cone of travel to them, too. Uh-oh, here's that one. So, we got some more experience and money. Let me try to get us up somewhere so that way there's a little change of scenery. Just so that way we're not staying down in... Oh, well, we can hear more. We only have so much stamina, too, so that we have to let it regenerate. I don't remember the Utah Raptors being this easy to take on. I remember 2 or 3 hits and they would take you right down, so seeing them sprinting off and around like this after getting a few slashes is quite a bit different than what I'm used to. And these aren't the Velociraptors, because the Velociraptors they were pretty lazy on, and it seems like they just downscaled the Utahs and gave them a bit of different textures. God, that annoying chiming. If I knew where it was coming from, or they were better with the audio, that probably would have helped with this, but... No, I hear something else as well. But no idea where... Where is this one now? I know the glare on my screen is pretty bad, so I'm having a hard time seeing, but this is still just getting to be a little ridiculous for... They at least said their thunder sound effects very good. Oh, it seems like they just keep spawning around here. Might actually be easier if we do die, because we'll get some credits we can use for our next spawn or something. Okay, let's try to find where this one went to, as it should be close to dead, if not already dead. Sounds like we got one right behind us somewhere, too. Maybe. Oh, there's actually something there. Yeah, so maybe we're... I don't know what the chiming was for what we keep hearing back there, but there's another loot thing on the map. It's just... down on the bottom of this hill. Great. Okay, you know what? Where are you making that noise? Oh, there it is. There we go. Okay, so let's open up the store. Yeah, so we got a little bit of money with us here. So you could do things like pick up... $8.25. Might as well pick that up. There's nothing else we can really afford. Maybe the hat, I guess. Not that it'll really do much. Okay, so there's that as a little bit different. But at least now we should have a little bit of a way to... bit of ranged options. And that one's pointing us to something over there. Okay. Well, we'll head up this way, see if we can find something. As it stands right now, it's... like, I think the game really would have been a bit better if they tried to do less Turok feel, almost, and just stick to the hunting style they're used to. I do think if you have a more modern carnivores, that is a little more fleshed out with what you can hunt, it will do successful. I think the problem with the little bit of a remaster that came out, or a remake of sorts, was... well, the one that I actually played on the channel, it wasn't a bad game, it's just that I feel like it was lacking more of what the Hunter has for its complexity in hunting. If you could have a very solid hunting game, you could basically make whatever you want be what you're hunting after. Whether it's North American game, African, you name it, you could basically probably squeeze it in and make a good game based around it. I would love to see what they would do with the Hunter if they tried to bring dinosaurs in again, but make it a little more proper to how Call of the Wild is. You have little bases you depart from. Maybe you do earn up and progress to get different weapons. Well, 308 ammo, that's useful if we find a gun, or find that gun. We'll keep heading down. There's another loot box down this way. I'd also have to watch the skies, because there are also those Quetzalcoatlus that were put in too. I don't know how dangerous they are. Oh, that's just a butterfly. A few of them flying around. Ooh, there's actually quite a bit up this way. I wonder if there's just something buggy with our first spawn in. There's some mushroom. Yeah, now you can hear the chime to it. Getting a lot of ammo, which is good, but without the weapon... well, we may get lucky and find one up this way. I do wish we would see some kind of bright skies out, though. A little break from all this drab and dreary. Yeah, we'll do a little sprint. We should be fine to do a little bit of running towards this stuff. And those poison plants. Here we go. Here's some good stuff. Well, kind of. Another bow, gloves, pants, arrows. Okay, well that one was kind of a mixed bag. Some good, not as much as I was hoping. Because usually the size of those are weapon crates, or... you know, you get something pretty useful out of it. What do we got here? Shoes and bow. And where are we right now? Yeah, we didn't even save the waypoint of what that other little thing was. Maybe we'll go across the river and try to head up a little bit. I mostly showed off what the game really had to offer. But I can definitely see why it fell apart. Well, it didn't fall apart, but just lost its support. It was... you can't mix the genres as much as the Hunter Primal tried to. between the kind of clunky and slow movements of getting your weapons ready with how you would get pounced on by the raptors and the amount of raptors, the game did have potential, but I think it was misguided into trying to be something it's not. Or something that the animation scheme or the main genre split off wouldn't allow. Because it's kind of like, best way I could maybe compare things is thinking of it like how Cabela's used to be. Because way back when I was much younger, there was a GameCube version they put out. I think it was Big Game Hunter 2005. And that was actually a fairly alright hunting game way back in the day. It was definitely nothing like the Cabela's are now, where it's more on-the-rails, arcade shooter. No, the Cabela's from 2005 was basically the precursor to, well, it had a lot of what the Hunter actually has in it now. Even though the graphics were nothing anywhere near like what this is. Like, even for being a game that's a few years old now, it still had some very amazing graphics. There's actually a Tyrannosaur. He's on our side of the river. Oh, yeah, you can see that big guy right out there. Yeah, Tyrannosaurs in the game are super scary, as they should be. But even once you felt like you had the right weapons to be able to go up against them, like the .308 caliber rifle, it still felt like they were super bloated tanks to try to take down. Well, we're going to ignore him and just kind of head off on our own for a little bit. I won't go for too much longer, maybe another 10 or so minutes, or until we die next. I think that might be a good way to end off this little well, not really a mini-sode, but this one-off episode. I can't really think of doing more with the series, or actually doing a mini-series on the Hunter Primal, just because its gameplay is so... Well, it reminds me of a comment I got a little while back from one of my viewers. It was a request to play Beasts of Bermuda, and the problem with that is the Hunter Primal, Beasts of Bermuda, and even the Isle fall into the category of the pacing isn't really good for a YouTube episode. It's better for, say, if you stream it and you have live there right there with you, but there's so little that you really have happening in the games that you only have highlights you want to show off, but you could record for like 2 hours and you only get highlights worth maybe 10 or 15 minutes or so. You're not really hearing anything too much. Oh, looks like we're getting to a very wide open area up ahead. Oh, and there's Triceratops, actually. This is probably going to get us killed, but you know what? We've shown off the Utah Raptors. We'll get a little bit of a look at one of the Triceratops, and then call this episode kind of there. I don't know if it's because of my Call of the Wild, how I would hunt there that time. I'm gonna try doing something like this, or just the fact that I don't care if I die or not. Oh, wow! What? No, wait, that really killed it. Son of a... Oh, and this was one of the first implications of the the trophy shot system that you see in many other of the Hunters. Actually, I think this first came in Classic and then they carried it over. We'll just accept that little thing there. But, holy crap, I am quite surprised at that. Just give me a moment here, I had a little thing pop up. The antivirus thing I use can be a little iffy on how it wants to work. It auto-blocks everything, so unfortunately it becomes a little bit of a hassle all the time. Okay, there we go. That's done. How close that is to death now. Well, we've got a number of vitals off on it. Oh, and there's another one over there, too. We're gonna leave you alone. We're just after the one over here. But yeah, this game is really broken from what I remember. Yeah, definitely. It almost seems like they're instantly spawning back after we've taken them on, too. Okay, stop roll-a-polling. There we go. Smiley face. Oh, hi. We're just gonna smack you a bunch with the machete and see, because, yeah, this game ain't holding up anymore, is it? Jeez, I'm surprised it fell apart this much. Like, I was expecting to encounter some bugs and glitches, but where you're able to stand right against a Triceratops and just smack the crap out of it with a machete? It did not age well at all. Again, the sound effects are something to spot on most, and the thunder will really scare the crap out of you. Okay, let's try to get that Triceratops, and maybe we'll try to find a T-Rex and run up and let it kill us. I do think the Hunter Primal was an interesting experiment. There are things that would have served it a lot better. But I think it ran its course for what it was released as. I do think if you were to make a proper, more dedicated hunting experience, you'd probably have quite a bit of success compared to what the Hunter... Although the Hunter Primal actually didn't do too badly for its release. I think a lot of people were drawn in with the hype of dinosaur hunting game. Ship's still running off this way. Well, another bit right here from her. I don't know if she'll just keep running until she drops, or she'll turn around like we had back when we were fighting the... Jeez. They really know how to do the thunderstorms, though. Those just sound powerful. Well, ain't that an perfect example of a bit of a buggy and unfinished product right there. You just keep trying to run up whatever the hell that is. We'll put you out. And then the Hunter Primal also tried to do the... No! No, 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 no. Oh. We're coming with you. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm surfing the Triceratops down a mountainside. I am literally riding a Triceratops down a mountain. Oh, my God. This big... Oh, okay. We're surfing down on a Triceratops. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nah, we'll collect her after she lands us at the bottom. But, oh my God, you want to talk about a fucking... This is some of the parts of the games where I really love when they mess up, because they're just hilarious. Oh God. Like, we managed to ride that Triceratops down and survive without much difficulty at all. Jeez. Oh man, that's going to be... I think that's a very fond way of remembering the Hunter Primal. It had a lot of questionable choices, a lot of weird bugs and glitches, but you could still find your little fun in here and there. Just kind of hoping we... Oh! That is a T-Rex. That's our perfect way to end this little one-off off with shooting our bow up at the Tyrannosaur there. Actually, I might want to turn the volume down because I remember those things have lungs like you would not believe. Yeah, you can even hear it from here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there we go. Killed by a T-Rex, and you get the ragdoll flying through the air animation. So, even with that, you need... Oh, that was another thing. You actually needed the levels in order to progress through anything, too. That was stupid. Yeah, they did a lot of dumb choices with the game. But we're going to end things off there. So that was the Hunter Primal on a little bit of a long run-off for a one-off series, but just wanted to showcase it and just have a little bit of a break and fun for the channel. So, I want to thank you guys very much for watching and sticking along with the Hunter Primal for this one-off. You got to see us surf a Triceratops down a mountainside. Who else are you going to be able to find stupid crap like that to enjoy? But in the meantime, I have been the SurvivalVis. If you did like the comments, if you did like the video and the stupid crap I got up to, be sure to leave a like or a comment just to let me know. And if you really want to show some appreciation, I would love to get a subscription from you. But until the next episode, please remember, as always, survivors, take care and stay alive.